Welcome to the planet of After Air, and very specifically, I would like to welcome you to the continent of Xata. Xata is unlike any place we have adventured before. The sheer scope of the story we are going to tell together on this massive canvas is exciting. So, without further ado, let me set the scene for our next adventure. Right? Xata is the largest and most advanced continent on the planet of After Air, and has a robust history that will shape our story. The Cliff Notes version is that until 197 years ago, the entire continent was under the control of the Xatan Empire, which was led by the so-called immortal Grey Emperor. As history goes, at the height of his power, the Emperor feared that a war that the goddess Loth had waged on the neighboring continent of Lovenstank would spill into his domain. Acting on this fear, the Emperor sends his 400 warships and the bulk of his army to repel the armies of Loth from Lovenstank. However, Loth had set a trap for the Emperor and, after destroying his fleet with magic, launches a subterranean invasion of the Emperor's seat of power in High Xata. In fear of falling to Loth, the Emperor pulls his remaining forces to the city of High Xata and calls to his banner cities to the north. These cities refuse his call, instead ensuring the fall of High Xata by shuttering the gates of Roderick Rorik, which facilitated all travel to High Xata. Those gates have remained sealed, with no one coming or going since that day. In the wake of the Emperor's supposed fall and the Empire's collapse, the cities of Xata were freed and began building their own kingdoms, complete with their own laws, needs, and relationships. It is into this world that we enter our story. The free cities of Xata are at a tipping point. In the west, Steelhaven fears a resurgent Calypso navy and have begun openly attacking ships even suspected of harboring pirates. In the south, the Grand Council of Calypso is having trouble controlling its pirate population and risks a regional war with Steelhaven. To the east, in Highwatch, the avian species Triarchs and everyday hardliners again lobby for war against the Hodozi of the Bleeding Woods. For their part, the Hodozi fear an avian-led Elvish uprising and have moved to limit the rights of Elvish settlers and citizens within the woods. These are the times and conflicts you inherit. And so, with the wolves at the gates and the continent on the brink, we begin our story. So, with that, Tucker, we first venture to the south and east of the continent, to the desert canyon known as the crags. It is past nightfall here. We are in the fabled and hidden giant city of Dol Ram. Could you do me a solid? Go ahead and describe your character for me in as much detail as you would like, and then set the scene. Tell everyone what we're looking at and what you're currently doing.
So, Kazmak is about 6'3" giant. He's a fire giant. Clad pretty much head to toe in
half giant,
pretty finely made armor. He wields a quite large battle axe, and he has a pretty finely made red-esque cape that is lined with a fairly thick white fox tail. If you were to look closely, was ever so slightly magic. In the current moment, he's standing. You want me to describe generally where he's at, or
I'll set the scene.
Okay.
You are at the river's edge of the Crimson River. Torches light the outer ring of what is an inner ceremony, which I will let you describe. The outer ring is rung by the whole of Dol Ram. The 300 warriors are here, as well as the bulk of the citizenry, like the small, like the young folk and the women. Go ahead and tell us what it is you are doing and describe the scene here.
So the scene generally, he's standing at the edge of the river, surrounded by the majority of his clan. From an outsider looking in, or from a standby, someone on the sidelines, like their POV would be looking at the backside of this half giant as he's beginning to untie some sort of something in front of him. As you were to step around, what he's in fact untying is some sort of humanoid. Can't really tell what it is. Looks to be hog-tied or something of that sense. As he begins to untie him, picks him up, and he's going to walk out kind of into the water with it. And as he does, he's going to just kind of look up and be like, "This is for Sutter." And he's going to just slit his throat and hold him up as the blood just kind of falls over him and turns the rest of the river kind of red. And then he's going to just solemnly kind of walk up to the rest of the clan and then just raise his hammer and yell.
The clan goes fucking nuts. Amongst the loudest is your half-brother, Slorn Dragon Butcher, and your personal tutor, mentor, all the above, Ruin Speaker Jork. But from amongst the rabble steps a dominating figure. She stands 15 and a half feet tall. It is the chiefess of your tribe and your mother, Gertrude the Red. Azamak, you've done well. Truly, you've done well. The gods shall weep in fear as Xata rises.
I only hope I can bring as much pride to this clan as you hope. Not do a slight bow.
She raises your chin up gently with her hand. You have done so well. Now drink. She offers you this. It's in her hand, it's like a teacup essentially. But in your hand, it's like a bowl essentially. It's like a little coconut bowl, or wooden bowl essentially. And what's inside of it is this thick purple ichor. You know what this is. It's a part of the ritual. You are to drink of this and then go to sleep. It is a dream-inducing serum of your people. It's the final part of the ritual. Okay.
Right.
As you turn to walk away from the river, through the throng of the people that slap out and reach out to touch you as you go, they begin to chant. Where's my mouse? There it is. They begin to chant a certain, I don't want to say symbol, but a certain phrase that is a symbol of your people. And you just hear it over and over and over again. At first, it's gentle and soft, and then it picks up speed and it's overwhelming. And it's Fist of Xata, Fist of Xata, Flame of Xata, Flame of Xata. Just over and over, the Fist of Xata, the Flame of Xata, over and over and over. As you make your way through the painted walls of the maze that makes up the entrance to the crags, you navigate this maze of natural stone and carved stone deftly, having known it since you were a young child. As you make your way through the familiar lefts and rights, over certain things and under others, you finally come to the entrance to Dora. As you enter the giant gates of Doranga and make your way through its painted halls, you pass past a very familiar mural. This is a mural that depicts the sacking of the Bleeding Woods. It is the depiction of the subjugation of the Vulpine people and the taking of the tail of the Kinokage, their leader, that you now hold as the flame of your people. So, having been named, you make your way to your room. Go ahead and describe your living quarters. It's quaint, but it's home.
I would say it's just a carved straight out of the rock. Not a crazy bed. It's just quite large. I would say there's a handful of runes on the ceiling, and then probably various depictions, historical artwork from almost like hieroglyphs.
Okay.
Just almost the history of my clan, portions that I liked or related to.
Very cool. All in runes. Very cool. As you lay down, you start to feel this concoction take hold of your body. And as your head hits the pillow, the stone slab, as it were, you go out like a light. You're down, but your eyes are heavy, but you can open them. And as you force them open, you're standing in a field of fire. You look all around you in 360 degrees. The terrain may shift. There's mountains, there's hills, there's rivers, but it's all aflame. And at its center, 15 feet in front of you, stands a being that you've never met, that you've seen depicted numerous times. As the god Surtur strides towards you. Behind him, his footprints, humongous as they are, he is a giant. The sixth of the god Anam's sons, sixth in the ordering of the pantheon of giants, is his rightful place. But Surtur and your people, by extension, kick the natural order. You have been chosen to represent your people by certain. And as he walks towards you, what do you do?
I would immediately kneel down, just be like, my God.
As you rise, he grabs your weapon that you were holding. And in his hands, it kind of like, for a moment, just like shines brightly. And he taps you on the shoulder and kind of like pulls you up to like a standing position. He says, "We kneel for no man."
Yes, ma'am.
You are the flaming hammer. So I name you the first. You, I have a task. On your plane, Anam is weak, in hiding. My father, he has cast down his duties as Lord of the Pantheon. You will lure him out so that I can kill him. And I shall take his place as ruler of the Ordning in the Pantheon. And so too shall your clan rise to true gods. His voice booms, the flames raging behind him as his voice reaches its crescendo and comes back down. He looks at you, waiting for a response.
I will go at your command, my lord. And I will bathe the fields in blood if I have to.
Good. Burn them to ash. I give you 2 tasks. First, strike down any giant who follows the old ways. Second, you will find an item of such power, of such perfection, that even a knob cannot deny its beauty. And when he appears, we shall kill him together. You will start your search in Calypso. And as he touches you on the shoulder, you start to hear the blaring of horns. As you hear these horns, you know them to be just the announcement of the chiefess. She has come. It is morning. As you wake, the sun, the natural light coming from the top of Dolranga, awaking you with the noise. Your mother strides into your room. So, did it happen?
It's done. He's given me his task.
Good. That's very good. What is it he would have you do? No. No. How can I help?
I must get to Calypso as fast as possible.
Good. And there, you will find what you seek.
I am just to find an item that Anam himself cannot refuse and kill any giant that stands in my way.
Good. A righteous task for a holy warrior. We cut away. Up next, we travel north and east from the crags along the path of the sun, all the way into the Bleeding Woods. On the eastern edge, tucked away in a hidden little enclave, we find Kitsu. Beginning her daily journey out into the woods. You're about a mile outside of the den at this point, along a familiar trail. When you come upon, kind of on this trail, it's not uncommon, but it's not very common to see someone walking here. But you see someone kind of lazily walking along the trail, heading your general direction.
Have they noticed me yet?
I would say yes. They don't seem to be like waving or anything, but they're just kind of just walking. If you'd like me to make a perception check, I will. First roll, I rolled a natural 20.
Yikes, first one of the campaign.
First roll of the campaign is a natural 20.
Off to a great start already.
Right there.
Kit will just kind of mind her own business. Not really make eye contact. Like the awkward passing in the hallways where you're just like doing anything but trying to look at the person. And then she'll just kind of like skirt her way by.
As you try to skirt past the stranger, excuse me, could I ask you a question?
She's going to pretend like she didn't hear it and try to keep moving on.
Okay. Yeah, the stranger lets you pass. Have a good day then.
And then she's going to continue on with what she was initially set to do, which I'm pretty sure is foraging.
Yep. So as she goes out to forage, go ahead and make a... Let's have this be a nature check.
My first roll. It's going to be a 2. Let's see here. Damn. 12.
12. Takes you a little bit of time, but you find a couple of different items. If I can pull up the right... It didn't save like I thought it did. Already the first session, and I'm already scrambling. You find...
For berries.
You find berries.
Scrambling for berries.
I'm scrambling for the word that I'm looking for.
First stage is
Alchemist guy? That's what it was.
herbalism kit.
Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I put this on a Word document for this exact reason.
First day jitters.
First day jitters.
Yes, every time.
Never run a campaign before.
Yeah, I know it.
First day again.
So you find red animantia mushrooms, and you also find... So you find 4 of those, and you also find some fairy poop.
Nice.
Yummy.
Have I ever seen fairy poop before?
Yes, you are very familiar with fairy poop.
Is it valuable, or is it just like, oh, this is gross?
Yeah, it's used in a lot of alchemical ingredients.
Okay.
I think it's actually called fairy stool, but fairy poop.
It's more enjoyable.
It's more say.
What is the quantity? How many cc's of fairy poop did I collect?
I'd say you got 2 servings of fairy poop there.
What a whopping pile. She'll just be like, oh, nice, and then pick it up, and then just describe to me, what does fairy poop look like? Is it like deer poop with like little pebbles?
It's like
Or do we
rabbit
all-
poop. It's rabbit poop.
It's dust.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll
Has
just pick it up.
a slight
look at it.
shimmer in the right light that you're pretty attuned to at this point in your life.
Like a pearlescence to it. She'll just like look it up at it and just like, interesting, and then put it in her bag. And just everything's going in the same bag. It's all going to the same place at the end of the day, and then into this components pouch, mashed together.
Yep. And as you go, you come to a pretty familiar spot. It's one of your favorite spots. It's this small little like pond where this freshwater spring kind of fills this like pond. It's one of the few places where you're able to see your reflection. So as you kind of lean in and do that, why don't you describe your character for us?
Crouching down to the water, which it wouldn't be a very far crouch down because she stands at a whopping 4 foot 9 inches. Is this super vibrant orange fox looking humanoid. You've heard now be described as the Vulpine, or as in layman terms they call them foxfolk in Xata. But she's wearing this sort of blue robes with white trim with a nice neat sort of like rope, frayed rope belt to tie it all off. She's got a couple different piercings in her perked up ears. She's been known to be a bit more rebellious in the den. Even though she stands at a 4'9", she's also been on this planet for 335 years, which is denoted by the 3 tails that she has sprouting out of her rear end. But she's still got a sort of like curious youth to her. While she like looks in the water, she watches the fish dance around inside of it, and then she'll just sort of like trace her fingers around it, hoping that one of them will like peck at her finger.
And as you spend the rest of your day collecting more fairy stool, so you get 2 more servings of fairy stool. I'd say your morning, really. And you get 8 more red adamantia mushrooms.
Nice.
Total of 12. Wow, man. Wish I could do that. Eventually, your foraging time comes to a close, and you make your way back to the den. As you get close, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That is a 21.
21, nice. From about 100 feet away, you see on the outskirts of what would be what you know of to be the start of like the den's territory. Like if you were peeing in a circle around the den, he's standing in the line right there, right? He's right there. The same stranger has stopped, turned his back on the den, and is kind of just looks like he's waiting. He's he's looking down at his fingers and picking at his fingers.
So he hasn't noticed me yet?
Not that you know of.
I would like to try and like keep towards the bush and just kind of watch and see what he does. Just try and hide and then keep an eye out.
You just sitting still, though?
Oh, yeah. Like
the
the second
bush and sitting
I
still. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like stalking prey kind of thing, like you're hunting.
Okay. Yeah. After he doesn't move, and he just kind of like picks one hand and he like picks the other. And about 5 minutes go by and he's just like picking his nails. And then he like finishes. And then very loudly he goes, "Since we're going to be working together, we should at least be cordial."
What race is this guy?
Would you like to get close enough to see?
I'm gonna try my damnedest to skulk.
Okay,
Like
make
stop.
a stealth check.
19.
19. You feel hidden.
Well, I'm going to try my best to stalk closer. Being quiet is anything.
Okay. So as you move slowly, you get within about like 50 feet or so. He's definitely elven in nature. Looks to be a he. Has masculine features, at least. Has the features of an elf, except for the ears are long and twisted at the end. His skin is also much, much paler than a normal elf.
Does he look anything like any of what the Anari have shapeshifted into? Like as I see them leave, Like, does he look familiar, I guess, is the...
Make an Arcana check.
10.
Nothing that you can think of. You can come closer. I won't bite. Not yet. We have common ground now, you and I. Kit, I believe they call you.
Still not coming out. I'm just gonna yell out. What do you want?
I have something of yours. Because something of mine was taken from me. And I will have it back.
I'm good. I got everything I need.
Might want to do a head count then. You were gone for a long time. Okay, to do a walkthrough. Reassess.
Is he standing near anything? Like a tree?
He's standing near the entrance to the den.
Is there like a backdrop behind him? Like, you know, like something like physically behind him?
It's like he's got like a kind of like a thorn thicket behind him.
And I'm within 50 feet, right?
Yeah.
I would like to throw a dart to go past his ear, if possible.
Sure, that's fine. I'll allow that. I won't make you make an attack roll to miss. Yeah.
Natural one hits him.
Like as close as I can to almost like to catch his attention to like turn with it as it rips past his ear.
I will make a roll here just because of something. Yeah. So as it comes whipping past him, was this a dart? What was this?
It's like a dart.
Okay. He's going to deflect blows. And as it comes whipping past him, he's just going to catch it. I won't toss it back at you and KO you in the intro. But he's gonna just catch it and chuckle and go, see, that's why she chose you. We've heard of you. The rebel. The Inari do not speak kindly. So, she wanted to give you a test.
While he's speaking, I'm gonna try and just like keep getting closer, but like wide berth as much as I can. And then I'll respond from a different position.
Yeah, make a perception check.
18? Yeah, 18.
Then 18. You are not alone in these woods. As you creep through the woods and you start getting closer, you realize there are other figures who are moving ever so slightly in the woods on the outskirts. And have now, because if you moved in and they were so far out, they've started to slowly kind of like encircle you in like a circle. You get a glimpse with an 18. 2 of these have short bows that are kind of built for this like wood terrain.
Okay. This might be a long shot because I don't know how far away we are from the actual den, like in the inner workings. I don't hear any sort of like distress inside the den, do I?
You do not with an 18. You hear calm in the woods with the occasional creak of a branch as someone sneaks through the woods.
Do I have a general sense of how far they are from me?
Oh, they're like 25, 30 feet from you at this point.
Okay.
They've stopped moving. They're just kind of like keeping pace. Like essentially as you move closer to him, they move closer to you. Like they're just keeping like a 25-foot buffer between you and them.
I'll just stop picking that up and I'll just be like, well, who is she?
She is no one that you need to be concerned with. She is my mother, in a sense. So, lest you upset me and I have to punish one of your own, do come out so we can have a civilized conversation. Or else, just so the stakes are clear, I will kill one of your village.
I mean, I would genuinely like to see you try.
From the den itself, you start to hear like a slash through like this thicket, almost like the sound of, but you don't see anything like actually breaking. It's like the sound of like it's like magic essentially happening that you can't see. Stepping through what is clearly like an illusionary or magical barrier is a lightly armored, similarly warped elven figure to the first. Face completely covered in wraps, long, twangly ears. In front of them is a Voltman, a foxbolt. This is one of the senior leaders, not one of, not Ninetails himself, not the Kinokage, but one of the senior Inari. The central figure in this conflict walks up gently, pulls out a blade from his belt, a dagger, you would glimpse this with your 18, it has a very pretty sheen to it. It's solid black. The hilt has an emerald inside of it. He takes that blade and quickly flashes it.
She'll, the second he goes to like get anywhere near with him, she'll just jump up and say, "Stop!" And like we'll hold her hands up with her quarterstaff out. You have my attention.
He turns to the person who brought the Inari out and says, "Take her home with the rest. I'll be there shortly." The hooded figure, the robed figure, gently touches the Inari. You see the right hand move, and they pop out of existence.
Dimension door. We'll kill you where you stand.
Behind this figure, the magic begins to pull back from the den. As the barriers that have stood for about 150 years fall, you see behind the den, there is no one in there. 25 robed figures stand in a ring around what remains of your people, including the Kinokage. The central figure, this antagonist, nods gently to the group. They move in, they touch each individual. All of the spellcasters in Inari and the rest of the Foxfolk bamf from existence, and you are left standing alone with a figure who puts out his hand gently in front of you and says, "Orion, pleasure to meet you."
How far away are we from each other still? Like
if you
30...
if you like put your hands up and walked out, I just have you walking up to him.
Yeah, she'll continue walking towards him. And do they get like within 5 feet and he still got his hand out?
Yep.
She's gonna spit in his face.
Okay. He just gently like wipes it off. He goes, "Right then. Something was taken from us. Your people helped take it. The Kinokage is smart. So, you're going to find it. It's called the Celestial Orb. You're going to bring it to me. You're going to bring it here to me. when you find it. You've already got the key. He points to your chest where a certain pendant that has been redacted in your inventory sits. He goes, so I know you got half the puzzle. Any means necessary, chap. You're on a time crunch. Every month that goes by, I take the life of one of your seniors. When there's no seniors left at the Kinokage, I move on to your elders. Understood?
He's just gonna burn eyes into him.
Yeah, it takes the hand with the spit and like puts it back out. Second chances are important.
She'll put her staff down as like a walking stick again, and she'll just put her paw like hand in his, and then like dig her claws into his wrist.
As you do, you see the ink on his arm starts to move. And as it does, it moves off of his hand, a piece of it, and onto your hand. He goes, a gift, if you need to contact me. And you have a little black tattoo circle, like a little button, basically, like a freckle on your fur now. And you can cast sending once per day to Orion.
Bastard. Are we done?
Almost. A lead. There's a mage. She owns a shop in Calypso. You should start there.
I've never been anywhere near Calypso, right?
You have not.
Do I even know where the fuck Calypso is?
You do. You have a lot of maps. You're real big into legends and myths and maps and shit like that. So.
Okay. I figured. Nothing in the inside of the den looks ransacked, right? Like they were just taken out.
Nope. They just took the people.
Okay. I'll just wait for this person to leave, I guess. I'll be like, okay.
Orion walks gently away down the road he came. He goes, next time you should just say hello. And he's going to face step out of there.
Dang.
She'll tense up and not even look, but then is going to relax, like take a couple deep breaths. Remember what the Kinokage would tell her throughout training, and then she's going to go back into the den and collect her things.
Yeah. As we cut to exterior of Calypso. Kyle.
Oh.
As you step out of a plant into the outskirts of Calypso. Task in hand, laid out before you, above table. You know what you're here to do. However, there is a kerfuffle. A kerfuffle, good sir. As you step out of this plant, hacksack in tow on your little stick, hobo stick, through the tree here. There is a small army between you and Calypso.
They're facing away from me, right? They're not like...
You are basically standing behind a 1,000-man army. You're not basically. You are standing behind a 1,000-man army.
Hey.
All dressed in a unfamiliar... Actually, make an Arcana check.
11.
11. I would say that you know that this is something special about this armor, but you don't know exactly what it is.
I see.
But they are in incredibly all-uniformed armor. You know that from like sketches and stuff that you get from the newspapers that gets delivered to where you're from. you know what the uniforms of Calypso should look like and the security of Calypso should look like, and this is not it.
Huh.
This very much appears to be an invading army that you have stepped into here. And indeed, as you do, you are immediately apprehended, or encircled, if you will,
Hello,
by 3 armed men. Aye!
Oi!
They begin to, like, rush over to you.
You!
Armed men. They kind of, like, as you yell back at them, they kind of stop. In the name of the Grey Emperor, you are hereby detained.
The Grey Emperor?
Aye, you heard me. Now,
Sure.
lay down your weapons in that hobo sack.
I don't really have any weapons besides the sack.
Ah, so not a fighter then. Good. He kind of like loosens up a little bit.
Okay, well, I mean, yes, I'm incredibly peaceful. What? Did you say Grey Emperor?
Aye,
The immortal guy? From like way back in the way back?
we have returned to reclaim what is rightfully his.
So
And
he's
you-
back.
Yes, indeed. I understand that it's a lot to keep up with, a lot to take in all at once.
Take out a small piece of parchment. This is news. This is news. I'm gonna write that down, fold it back up, and like put it in my pocket. Well, I mean, I just got here. I will not lie to you. Whatever you need from me, I have nothing for you. If you want to just let me, I'll just get a step in if that's okay with you. Unless you need something. Do you need anything?
The other 2 guards are going to grapple you by your arms, or at
Okay.
least attempt to. If there's anything you'd like to do.
No, I'll let them do it.
Okay. They're going to grab you by your arms. And the first guy, the central figure here, is going to walk up. And he's going to go, "It's your lucky day, boy.
Doesn't feel.
General's got need for a messenger of sorts. And you're going to deliver that message."
Well, I can do that. Yeah, sure. Where?
They start to drag you. Behind
I can walk with you if that's all right with you guys.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they're like kind of like they'll keep a loose grab on your arms, but you like are free to like kind of like walk with them. But they are
Okay.
definitely going to direct you very clearly that you're being pulled to this kind of like makeshift command area that's been set behind this small army. You'll notice not a single weapon has been drawn.
All right.
Like no one's drawn a weapon yet. All the army, the blades are still in the sheets. There's nothing like crazy like going on here. It doesn't even look like Calypso was ready for whatever's happening here.
Interesting. Fair enough.
As you enter the tent, you're brought in front of what appears to be a general. And indeed, you are introduced to a General Flaft. F-L-A-F-T. Durton Flaft.
You need a message? I've been told.
Yes. Yes. Can you speak properly?
We're having a conversation.
Watch your lip. I have no patience for shenanigans.
Oh, fair enough. But to be fair, all of this is shenanigans to me. So
This boy's kind.
He kind of like walks up, like gently takes a dagger, and underneath your right eye draws a
before he touches me, I'm like, my safe word's pineapple.
He like for a second like does a double take, grabs you by the forcibly by the chin, and is gonna run the blade underneath your right eye.
Pineapples!
Um, He then takes that blood and puts it in a little like dropper and puts a cork in it. Hands like absently behind him, and someone takes it from him.
Okay.
He then says, "You're to tell the Grand Admiral and the Grand Council that the Grey Emperor has returned. This is but a small offering of his force. We arrived by ship in the night and returned by land in the morning.
You guys are just gonna leave?
In 60 days, I will return with an offer of kneeling or death."
So where can I find these fine gentlemen?
He points out of the tent door that you walked in. Behind you, in the distance, about 3 miles, is Calypso.
Okay.
They'll be in their tower, I'm sure.
I'm gonna take out my parchment and be like, and so the message? You said it's 60 days, and that's kneeling or death?
The Grey Emperor has returned to reclaim his empire. In 60 days, you may kneel or you may die.
Has returned, reclaim empire, kneel or die.
I can just see you writing this down as in the
I already love this character.
Well, I'll do my best, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you in this moment here, just human to human, person to person. I've never been to this place, so it might take me a little bit. Is there a way to contact you if for any reason, like I just can't happen to find them, or like they're dead already? You know, like what's kind of my... We have plan A, which is the message. Hope that works out that way between you and me. Sounds like the easiest path for me. Message, skate, gone. But if I can't find them or they're dead...
I guess you wouldn't. It's a title, not a person.
Oh.
Find the person in charge, deliver my message, or die. I have your blood.
Can I have something?
I've given you the gift of life.
I already had that when I came here.
He draws his dagger again. He goes, "A corpse can deliver a message the same as a living man. How you delivered..." He slits your throat. He's gonna go to slit your throat.
Can I wild shape into like a bear?
A what?
A bear?
You boys are angsty as
Oh,
hell.
we are off, ladies and gentlemen.
An hour into the episode, we've already tried.
I'll wild shape into
A bird of some sort, or some
into a giant owl. Yeah, I'll wild shape into a giant owl.
Okay. As you
Jesus.
wild shape into a giant fucking owl, no one was holding you inside this tent. He had you like by the jaw.
Stuck in the ceiling.
You wild shape into a giant owl. You're a large creature. Can't make an opportunity attack to grapple you. You can just make an opportunity attack.
It is.
So as you go to fly away as a giant owl, he is going to take a swipe at you.
It doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach.
Motherfucker. I hate that I gave you a boosted fucking animal. 2 animals at once.
But can he fly out of the tent?
Well, it's an open fucking...
The roof?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he put is an open, like, makeshift tent.
Angled.
So as he fucking flies out in giant owl form, you narrowly avoid the knife in giant owl form.
Ooh.
And you're able to reach out and flap away. I'm assuming flying towards fucking Calypso.
Just screeching pineapples in giant owl.
Yeah. We will cut. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Vincire, we'll describe your character at another chance.
Okay.
I was going to have you walk past a mirror and catch a glimpse of yourself for the first
I
time.
almost re-rolled a character on live.
Oh.
5 minutes. Best $45 miniature ever. We now will rotate out to C. We are about 3 days' journey from the coast of Xata for a destined port of Calypso. You have been, Mike, aboard a ship from Deboria for about a month, give or take. You know the crew pretty well at this point. The captain's a nice enough man, treats his crew with nice enough respect. They're a simple freight hauler. They've not done, they're not pirates. They've not been hit by pirates. That's been a good, they're just a normal merchant ship that you have to board. Your reasons are your own, but as you go and you get within 3 days' journey, go ahead and make your first roll for me. It's going to be a perception check. I cannot believe fucking Kyle's.
Bro, I thought he was
I thought Kyle was gonna die.
I was like, this boy I know has this boy can have more than 15 hit points.
How great would it have been if it's and Kyle's actual character comes up and watches a murder happen?
That would have been the plot twist of the century.
You said perception?
Yep.
It's gonna be 17.
17.
Someone's very wise.
So, with a 17, as the ship in the distance comes over the horizon, you see a double set of black sails. She is a pirate ship, and she is fast. As she approaches, however, you begin to realize the sails are not black. The sails are gray. When it gets within about a mile, I have no idea how to do knots. Mission time, I have no idea what a knot is. As it gets within about a mile, I know that, but I don't know
nautical mile measurement.
Oh.
I guess I mean a nautical mile, but I don't know the actual distance and
nautical mile is shorter than mile. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just go miles. Fuck it.
Exactly what I was trying to avoid. As we get within a mile of this ship, you begin to notice for certain that the ship's sails are gray. It begins to signal using flags to our captain, Captain Dunphy. As the signals come in, Captain Dunphy goes, "I'll be fucking damned. She's throwing up Imperial signs."
Imperial? What's
Like the old Xatan Empire. It's old, 150 years old. Been gone for a long time. You're not from here, are you?
Where did I board your ship at?
I assumed maybe you were coming outside the point.
Damn it.
Anyway, they sell a book in most port cities. I believe it's called The Dummy's Guide to Xata. You'll want to read it.
Okay. But just to let you know, never read that book, didn't know that book existed. So, we just need to get along. Is it a good thing? Bad thing? I don't know. I don't belong on the seas.
God damn it.
As the ship closes within a couple hundred feet, they send a warning shot over the bow, and Captain Dunphy drops the sails. He furls the sails. He goes, "We've got but 8 cannon on board, and I count 16 per side. We can't fight her. We can't outrun her. She's gonna board."
Do you have anything of value on this ship? What's going on? I'm not sure.
We've got about 10,000 gold worth of spices from Cetera, and another 5,000 in silks from Devoria bound for Calypso. But they don't look like pirates. Like I said, they're throwing up Imperial signs.
Do I need to do something? Do you need to do something? Do we need to do something?
You need to sit still and not make anyone nervous. You're a big fella. There's no need for hostilities unless they open first.
Hostilities? I'm just peaceful. I come in peace. I'm here to preach the good word of the divine pantheon.
Right. And that's as non-exhausting as that has been this entire month-long journey. Just tread lightly. I don't know who these people are.
Well, Captain Dumpy, in these last final moments, have you decided to convert to the Prime Pantheon? Have you chosen a god? I would like to know so that way I can pray for you.
As I've stated times before, I call the goddess Umberly my god, the goddess of the deep. Now please, shut the hell up as the drawbridge slams. Like as you're like trying to like convert this guy, the gangplank slams down as they pull up and start to board the ship. Love your character. Point of inspiration.
Yay!
We haven't had a goofy voiced character yet.
That's fucking hilarious.
I like, and that the fact, and we'll get there. As the gangplank drops, a series of individuals board first, and they're holding what seem to be. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
I don't think it's strong enough.
You're level 3. You're not super strong or anything.
Oh, 18.
They'll certainly do it. They are holding mithril weapons, and they are wearing mithril light armor. Go ahead and make a history check.
11.
Remember, you're level 3, so your DCs aren't very high right now. So that will do it. Don't count yourselves out. DC was 10. You're level 3. You're not level 20 anymore.
Oh.
You're level 3 again.
I mean, I can't roll a 32 deception.
You know enough about the history of the world because you had to study its peoples as part of your schooling that Xata had a high emperor up until about a little less than 200 years ago. And then during what is now known as the Spider War, which was the war that happened on the continent of Lothingstomp to the northeast. Our last campaign featured that heavily, obviously. During the Spider War, High Xata, which is where the Emperor's seat of power was invaded. He fell for a trap, sent his armies to Lothingstomp, and she invaded High Xata. And that was the last when the free cities declared their independence and denied his request for aid. This is the last time that he was ever heard from. It's the last time that anyone was ever seen a member of the Imperial Navy. However, you also know that they were known for being clad in mithril armor. As they step onto the deck, one man rings out among the rest. It's a 6'2" human. He's announced as General Durton Flaft.
Flat.
Flaft. Durton Flaft. F-L-A-F-T.
Oh, I spelled it right. Wow.
You love the name Flaft. I know. Everybody loves Flaft.
I mean, I've heard this a lot.
Durton Flaft. Same guy.
Admiral.
General.
Shut up.
If you haven't been paying attention already, we're in for a long campaign, brother.
I've already started piecing it together.
General Durton Flaft is going to step out and go, keep a sharp eye on that one. It's bigger than the rest. It kind of like looks up a little bit. Gotta describe your character first, Mikey.
Okay, so what you guys are seeing is a 7.5 foot Luxodon. I have a cream, like a white cream kind of robe on with its gold overlays and certain things. I also have a hood that can come up. I'm carrying a staff, sleeves slightly rolled up to mid forearm, and a nice 6 foot trunk, just
Boy
hanging
got
off.
6 foot trunk.
Yeah. How tall are you?
Huh?
7.5 foot
7.5
tall.
feet.
Man, that shit reaches 1 foot off the ground.
Fucking dangling, baby. Actually, no, it made more sense if it was 5 feet. Yeah, it would make 5 feet. Yeah, 5 feet. The trunk is 5 feet.
We do it live.
Damn, 2 feet off the ground.
2 feet on the ground.
I like it.
But yeah, just grayish white skin, little tusks coming out. I am about 45 years old.
Nice.
In human years.
General walks up to you, goes, "You anyone important on this ship?"
No one important, just here to pass the good word.
As soon as you say that, he moves on. He comes to the captain. "You anyone important on this ship?" "Well, I'm the captain, sir." "General." "I'm sorry?" "I'm a general." "Yes, general."
I'm gonna kind of
Is he,
Isn't there admirals instead of generals for the water?
Yeah.
the guard who had taken up post next to you takes the butt of his mithril sword and jams it into your gut.
What you looking for? It's a legitimate question.
Hits you in where where your trunk hits into your mouth.
Oof.
Oh,
He looks at the general, turns back around, looks at the captain, and goes, "Is your first mate, is he capable?" And the captain goes, I'd say so." "Good. Good." Flash. Dagger through the chin.
Called it.
Pulls the blade out. Turns to the ship. "You're to deliver a message. The Grey Emperor yet lives. He's come to reclaim his kingdoms and the Empire of Xata. In 60 days, you will be given the option to kneel or to die on the field of battle. The choice falls to your leaders." He then gives a signal, walks off the ship, and everyone walks off the ship with him.
I'm gonna is the first mate anywhere near around?
The first mate is literally shaking near the bow of the ship. Like his knees are like shaking. He's like pissing himself, scared.
Was that? I'm guessing that's close to where the captain died or the captain fell.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, what's going on? What? What is it? What is going on? Is it?
I'm gonna look around.
The one of the bosun that you know pretty well walks up and goes, We'll explain it on the water, bro." And as you guys turn, you bleeding from the mouth, we will cut.
What's your character's name?
Wrong.
A few days later, maybe 2-3 days of travel by sea, we cut to the village of Last Drop. They arrived in the night. They came without violence, knocking gently on doors and demanding that everyone make it to the town square. Yours is the last house in the cul-de-sac on the last lonely road of Last Drop. Henry, as you rouse from sleep, having looked out your window,
Is it on red?
you quickly throw on your clothes and give a glance in your very small mirror. As you glance in this mirror at yourself, as you're checking to make sure your garments are on, as you rush to the door, what is it that you see in that mirror?
Well, what I would see in that mirror would be a very wizened old man
Nice.
completely bald. He's got a nice, short beard, pure white. Eyebrows, 4 days, all white, super bushy. Kind of hunched over a little bit with a nice green sort of cloak with a little bit of gold filigree on it. And he checks himself out. All right. Starts walking out. Oh, Philip, where'd you go? And a little rat's gonna scamper up and start climbing up his leg and get on his shoulder. All right, here we go. Start making his way downtown.
As you make your way to the center square, you see other people being escorted, not friendly by any means, but they're not being like violent with the townsfolk. You, having lived in Last Drop for a number of years, 2 decades to be exact, you have heard many a story of the old empire, and you're old enough, you're not that old to have lived through it, but you're old enough to have like been around like people, like second generation people telling the stories. You know what I mean? So it's like, it'd be like our grandparents telling us about World War II, essentially. So with that being said, you have a pretty good understanding that this appears to be, it makes 0 sense, but with your general intelligence and passive insight, you are able to put together that this appears to be remnants of an empire from the south. Somehow, some way, Snoke returned. No, we're gonna do a much better job of explaining it than that.
Please.
Yeah, we're gonna do a much better job of explaining it than that. But yes, this appears to be remnants at first glance of the empire. As you make your way through town, go ahead and make a perception check.
First roll, the new
First roll.
dice. It's a 10.
On a 10. I think the DCs are so low for level 3 characters on episode 1. On a 10, you put together, there were about 100 people here. About 1 for every person who lives in Last Drop. It's about a 1-for-1 ratio here. You see, like, even like the kids, the few children that live in Last Drop, the few families, like, even the kids are escorted. You make your way to the center of town. And as you do, you notice that one person has been banged up more than anyone else has. You know him as Bark, Bhark. He's a Minotaur fella. You know him as one of the more sturdy town wardens. There's this group of like 6 or 7 town wardens that kind of keep the town secure, make a lot of the decisions and things of that nature. And he's one of them. He looks beat the shit up.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rush over to Bark.
As you go to rush over to Bark, 2 of the guards kind of like step in the way. 2 of these armed men kind of step in the way. The one kind of like bears his sword just ever so gently, goes, "You've won no part of this."
Oh, the poor man, he's beaten. He's already been beaten. Please, just let me help him.
He goes, the guard goes, "This one took the life of one of the Emperor's own."
I mean, he's very strong. I mean, did you surprise him or something? I can see that happening. I just...
Bark,
Please.
Bark kind of looks at you pleadingly and goes, almost calls you Roran, looks at you pleadingly and goes, "Henry, it's not worth it. Stay out of it. They've marked me." And you look above, or right below his right eye, or excuse me, his left eye, not his right eye, his left eye on this one. The left eye is a cut and it's bleeding.
Oh, Oh my. Well, all right. And I'll kind of eye the soldiers kind of back a little bit. Very well. Keep your peace then. I'll just move over this way. And kind of just step back a little bit, but try and keep like that whole situation in my eye line, but get out of like the way.
Okay. As you make your way kind of to the back of this town center, 100 of you, the entire town's population, are pulled out. It's about 5 in the morning, a little bit earlier than what you normally get up, but still, borderline, yeah. So, because you're an old man, that's true. You're a very old man. So probably like your normal getting out of bed time. Probably like, oh, my neighbors are awake.
Oh, tapioca night.
As you kind of like pitch yourself to the back of this group of people, I guess unfamiliar face to you, but familiar to the rest of the party at this point, for some of them, General Durton Flaft steps into view. I am General Durton Flaft of the 1st Legion of the Grey Empire. You are all rightful citizens of the Grey Empire. We have come to reclaim you for the Emperor and for our empire. In 60 days' time, you will be given a choice to kneel or to fight on the field of battle. But either way, you will be a part of the Empire. To deliver this message, to ensure you of our mettle, we have pulled your strongest. Bark, the Minotaur, steps into view, shoved by the guards up to the general. The general walks up to him, walks up to a guard, pulls the guard's mithril blade, and hands it out to Bark. You've been marked for death, for killing one of the Emperor's men. But the Emperor believes in second chances. Second chances are important. So, with that being said, you'll fight me. The general pulls 2 mithril short swords. On the tips, they're barbed. As he brings them across his forearms and readies into this almost acrobatic stance. Bark, Henry, you look over. You know Bark to be a good man, a kind man, a strong man, a brave man. But you do not know Bark to be a proven fighter by any means. And as you watch the general circle him and lunge once and nick an artery, lunge twice and clip his Achilles, and a 3rd time taking out his right knee, a 4th time his left knee, as he breaks Bark down to the bare bones, he delivers a final message. You will send one of your greatest, most trusted, or wisest to the Calypso Grand Council and demand that they kneel. If you fight, this will be the fate of your sons and your daughters. We will regain the Empire for what is to come. And with that, he clips Bark off at the shoulders. As quietly as they came, the men pick up their belongings and they leave. They do not rob anything. They do not pilfer the very famous gem store in this town. They don't touch anyone. They don't do anything to the citizenry. They execute Bark in single combat for his crime, deliver their message, and they leave.
We did.
In the 30 days that follow, a couple of things happen. Starting first with Henry, the freshest on our mind. Henry. The remaining town wardens, the 6 remaining town wardens, meet. 5 out of 6 unanimously, 5 out of 6 decide that you are the rightful choice to represent Lastra as the town's healer, kind of unofficial healer, and one of the older and wiser of the town. You've been here for about 20 years. They have decided to send you to Calypso. You argued for about 2 weeks before you finally ran out of reasons why you couldn't go.
My arthritis is kicking up again.
So
Have the open nights tomorrow. I can't go.
they gave you the finest horse that they had in the stables. Her name is Midnight. She is a 4-year-old mare. She comes with a full saddle, full tack, and she is your horse. Total value, if you were to sell her, is 150 gold.
So pretty.
Good stock. Those are a lot of hounds.
But slowly but surely, you and Midnight make your way. You get your general supplies and all that. Your starting gold. Go ahead and add 150 gold to your inventory.
All right.
Will take up a collection and give you a stipend.
All right. I would also pay a visit to a shop where I have a standing order of some basic components and re-up and make sure I am full to go.
Okay. That'll cost you a total of 5 gold.
Perfect.
Okay. You make your way to Calypso. Anyone specifically that you would like to say goodbye to before you go? You have some of the town wardens, anyone in town that you're close to?
I'd probably stop by the town wardens just to make sure, hey, you sure you want to send me?
You run into Grundle. It's this deep gnome. They are basically like the town stone architect. Anytime a new home or building needs to be made, they'll go to the crags, cut the stone, bring it out, and they'll do it that way. So you meet Grundle at the entryway, and Grundle's like, "Yes, we're sure you're the one."
All right. I mean, it's just going to be slower. Just can't move as fast as I used to be able to.
That's why we gave you Midnight. You complained about your arthritis. We gave you the fastest horse we had.
Fair, but you know what? I'm doing it as a favor for Bark. That's it.
Well,
right.
We are grateful.
Yeah. All right.
So as Henry gets on his horse and rides to Calypso, we're going to go back down the way we came. Ram, your ship lands in Calypso. Let me pull up another sheet here. Calypso. Your ship lands in Calypso. You deliver the news as what has happened at sea to the local, what are they called? Harbor master.
Was I able to heal the captain?
No, the captain's dead. My man's dead. Yeah, bled out before you would have had the opportunity.
Are we saying this because I know you said like 30 days, 2 weeks later, 30 days later? Is it just 3 days later for me, or
No. This is 30 days. This is in the next 30 days. All you're doing all this.
Got it.
Yeah.
God, 30 days for me until the
Do you want me to act out the harbor, going in the message to the harbor master, or is that just in the cliff note you're just giving me?
You deliver the message to the harbor. We're not acting out.
Okay.
So you deliver what happened at sea to the harbor master. You find reasonable lodging at the captain's chest inn. It's right on the main main landing of the main docks. It's like the inn to be at, the captain's chest. and you begin asking questions about your task. Your initial offerings at the docks confirms that years ago now, a group of Luxodon had come through.
Well, because in these conversations, I would have asked, what do you know?
They never said where they were headed.
I mean, what supplies did they gather?
Just normal. They didn't know that. It's just they were just you're on the docks. You haven't explored the because you were still 3 days away.
Yeah.
Then you get there. Then you find lodging. You deliver the message. This is over weeks.
Okay.
Don't worry. We're about to take a break, and then turn the table over. Pretty soon. Vinsire, you deliver the message about the Emperor returning.
Extraordinarily nonchalantly.
To the first guard captain that you can find. You are essentially interviewed over a series of days. You're given lodging at the Captain's Chest Inn. You're given lodging for 30 days essentially while this process plays out. You are questioned over a series of weeks essentially about what you know, where you're from, all of this. How much of that, of where you're from, do you divulge?
Literally nothing.
Okay. What story do you give? Give me the cover story that you give them.
The cover story that I give them. I say that I'm from a druidic grove in the Feywild. That we've taken root in the Feywild. I literally just kind of popped in to look for some more rare herbs and other ingredients and maybe do some trade. And then the second I got here, this has been sprung on me. So this is it. And it's my first time out here. So this is all I can give you.
And as Grand Arbiter Igancio Kane sits across from you, what does he see?
Vinsire is a purple-skinned tiefling with charcoal, dark charcoal horns that protrude out of big, nice horns that protrude out of his forehead. He's got, strangely, a thick red beard. He's got just kind of simple robes that have, at least when he first exited his plant, there was kind of covered in vines and it's twigs sticking out of his beard and stuff. He's around 5'10", but 200 pounds, so he's it's pretty built, but not super menacingly. And he's probably anywhere from 25 to 30. So he's not young, but he's not old, and that's that's about it. I mean, he's got all of his traveler's pouches and stuff. He's got a bunch of I imagine they've taken him off him at this point, but he's got a bunch of leather pouches with him and things like that.
You haven't been under arrest. You've basically just been under house arrest at the Captain's Chest.
Okay.
You've been able to keep all your stuff and everything. They haven't they searched it, but they didn't find anything of value. Just a bunch of ingredients and alchemical agents and things. But they didn't find anything of note for them. You deliver the message of what you saw. They also asked if you've heard any reports of a item called the Celestial Orb. Orb with a B.
Orb. Night Yorb.
Or if the general mentioned the orb.
The general was a man of few words. He didn't like talking to me very much, I don't think. I didn't get that impression. I don't recall a celestial orb, but I was a little afraid. I won't lie. I was a little intimidated. I could be misremembering. I don't believe so.
Flew away as a fucking bird.
After getting her one tap, day one.
No, hour one.
Literally.
So, Vinsire, you are at the end of this like 30-day period. They're safe in their thought that you are not remnant empire sympathizers, what they're calling these people, or in on this, and that you are just an innocent bystander. You are kind of released to your own cognizance at the end of this 30-day period. You will have to, from this point on, pay for your room and board. But you are in Calypso. You're through the first, initial stages. You have been told that you will be contacted if they need anything else. But that is basically your 30-day period.
And I would have been making potions if they would have allowed me to. And then
I was going to say, over that 30-day period, if you would have liked to have been making potions, you know the rolls you have to make. It's all on that sheet. So make the rolls, play honest, let me know how many potions you make and what they are.
got it. I'll do that.
17 superior here. What?
Kit, your 30 days is a lot of walking, I'm sure. It would take you about that long to get across
30 days, 28 days.
to get across the continent. You would have traveled across
I looked at the map. I was like, damn, that's a fucking hike.
everything. So would you like to describe anything? Like, did you stop in High Watch at all just for a day? To see
Actually,
the
yeah. I would have. I guess you tell me. How many times would I have been to High Watch, if any? Like on trade
Say,
mission.
you've probably been there 10 times in your life. It's an incredibly beautiful place.
I would say because of the group that took my people, I would have avoided High Watch for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Just because I understand like the history behind what went down. So I think I would have kind of just like traveled the normal route, which is what is that dotted line? The one that goes north of High Watch, and I would probably stop at Letty's Hold to get some like food and such from like the farming community. And then really probably would have just taken the most direct route from Letty's Hold to Calypso, because really beyond Letty's Hold, I only understand general knowledge of. I would probably avoid Blackmore like the fucking Dickens, and try and just beeline it to Calypso.
Got it. Okay, so you would take the central road essentially. You go from Letty's Hold to Dun Hollow to Good Grass to Calypso. So that is the path that you would have taken.
That tracks, because I would be trying to keep my rations up, going from farm town to farm town.
So you would have traveled on the King's Road for a lot of your journey.
Would I have seen any interesting people along the way?
You would have ran into a couple of things along the way. You would have heard whispers and rumors along the road in your travels in the different towns of reports of Empire remnants popping up along coastal areas and in the south in Last Drop.
Okay. Anytime I came near anyone on the road, like if I saw them a distance away, I would have attempted my best to do what the Inari taught me, and I would cast Disguise Self just preemptively. It's not nearly as good as what they can do, and it's really only good in passing by, shape-shifting into like just like common traveler.
Yeah.
A couple of things. Letty's Hold, you would have noticed. Once again, you would have noticed the rolling hills. You would have paid witness to some of the mage riders, which are these like essentially their version of knights, but are mages that ride these like, imagine a winged Gallimimus, like basically a giant like flighted ostrich. They ride them like over the plains, like that's their cavalry, and they're mages on them. It's fucking rad. So you would have ran into a couple of those along the way. You would have in Dun Hollow, you would have been in the town of windmills. So it's a quintessential like Dutch like setup. Windmills all over the place. The windmills run like a cog system, so it's actually a fairly advanced place. Dunhollow is. So it's got like gas lamps and things of that nature. It's a pretty place, but it's just kind of like Dutch style architecture, but with like this mechanical overtone to it.
They make clogs, right? They got clogs there. Did you get some clogs?
You also would have been to good grass. Depending on your philosophical bend on meat, good grass is the best place to get a steak in everywhere. It's got the best grazing grass. It's essentially Kentucky bluegrass as far as the eye can see.
Motherfucking wagon.
So it's got the best grass. The best horses come from good grass. The best cattle comes from good grass. The best meat comes from good grass.
Unlike my last campaign, I am not vegetarian this time. I eat both. I am omnivorous. I will eat both.
Hell yeah, brother. I love an omnivore. And then you would make your way down the King's Road to Calypso. When you hit the King's Road, you would have hit one of the wonders of this world. The Roman-style road that is the King's Road. It is a paved road. It goes from the gates of Steelhaven down through Goodcrafts across the Little River, down to Calypso, and from Calypso to Lestrop. The branch from Calypso to Lestrop is a little less well maintained. Think of it as like the Roman roads in like the latter days, as opposed to the Roman roads in its like heyday. So, still an easy journey for those of you on the King's Road, but eventually you make your way to Calypso. Finally, we come back to Kazamak. Kazamak, you would make your way down the Scorched Path, west, out to the outskirts of Lastrop, and up the King's Road.
Oh yeah.
So there's a road here. So you'd walk the road along the river, the route along the river that you guys know how to walk, into around the outskirts of Lastrop, and into Calypso. In Lastrop, giants are not unknown. Like, giants are not really considered a threat anymore unless you're a trade caravan. But if you're a town and you see a giant, typically what it means is they're there to trade. And it's usually good for business because it's a bunch of stolen shit and the giants don't know the value of it, for the most part.
Makes sense.
So they rip your people off, essentially.
Nice.
But they're used to seeing.
Or like Native Americans.
Yeah, essentially. You're like how we fucking treated the Native Americans, yeah.
Nice.
Damn. I did a bad thing. I didn't even mean to. Damn, son. I was inadvertently cruel. Damn.
Yeah.
2 days away from retirement. Shit. All right. Well, yeah. I guess I did that on accident. So yes, I'm doing a bad thing to your people.
I'm doing a Christopher Columbus.
You're welcome.
I didn't want them to be sympathetic.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be terrible.
Oh, I'll make it terrible.
But you make your way down the Scorched Path through Calypso, if you so choose, up the King's Road. Goliath's half giants are not uncommon here. Yeah. There's plenty of half giants around because of all the old school giant raids back in the day, right? So there are half giants around. As you make your way, I just love seeing everybody at the table. It's a new campaign is so much fun, man. As you make your way to Calypso, there are a couple of things that you would pick up on. You hear of the rumors that the Empire has returned. The Empire's speak is well known to your people. The Xatan Emperor ordered the Great Purge of the Giants back in the day. Your tribe was touched by that as well. About 75% of the then tribe was called in the Great Giant Call. And you hear that they are coming back. You also hear rumors that in some of these instances of these ships stopping other ships at sea, there were mentions that the Emperor was looking for an artifact.
Okay. Did anyone ever say what it was, or allured to what it looked like, or?
They said he was asking about an orb.
Yes, we all want the same thing. Makes sense. Okay.
So, with that, with you all arriving in Calypso, in or around the 30-day mark, we are going to do two things. We're going to take a break, and during your break, I want you to think about some downtime activities that you might have been able to take during your travels or things that you might have been able to make. So we're going to focus a lot on downtime activities this campaign. We're going to give you more time to, we're going to implement the new Bastion system from the Unearthed Arcana that's about to become full-on D&D lore. So I want you to be thinking a lot about more downtime activities this campaign. So be thinking about what you're doing in that 30-day span. There's time to make potions, time to practice skill, learn language, things like that. So as you think about that, we know that Vinsire is doing some potions. Go take your break. And I'll see you all back here. I'll be adding gold to your inventories during the break. Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
So, as you wake on about the 30th day of your adventure, you've all been in Calypso for a day at least. You all found rooms and board at the Captain's Chest Inn. It's the largest inn on the docks. It's the wealthiest inn, has the best ale, the freshest ale. It's got ale from a bunch of different ports, wine from a bunch of different ports. It's got something for everyone. That bar, you guys would meet her as you have been like staying there. The woman who runs the bar, her name is Wendy Hawthorne. She's a female human.
Does she have red hair?
She does not.
What's the bar's name again?
Wendy Hawthorne. She's a human. She has dark, wavy brown hair.
What was the bar again?
The Captain's Chest. Is anyone here a drinker?
Oh, what?
You're a drinker?
Yep.
Brahm is a drinker. Anyone else a drinker at this table?
I would say my character is a drinker.
Okay.
Since I'm
My father
managed
wanted
to do a certain location.
As you guys would spend your time maybe at the bar, I won't have you interact yet, but what I will have you do is both make perception checks.
Ooh, 21.
Okay.
First roll of the campaign.
Nat 20, baby.
Nice.
Points of inspiration for your nat 20. But you already have one, so you only get 1 point of inspiration. But so with your point of inspiration in hand, your natural 20 and your 21, both succeed. You guys one night hear two dock workers drunkenly arguing over a couple of things. One of the things they talk about is grung. One, you hear a dock worker go, "I swear to God, two of them, grung. You know, the frog people. You know, some other people that call them, what's it? I really can't remember what other DMs call them. It's grung and
Bullywug?
Bullywug. Yep. Thank you. Grung and Bullywug. Yeah, you know, grung, Bullywug, same thing. Two of them, big as a man, came right out of the vent. Scared the living shit out of me. Basically. The other one, no, mate. I'm telling you, you were just drunk. You didn't see no Bullywug. And it kind of goes on for maybe 3 minutes, and they get on to something else. So that is you guys. Anyone have anything they would have done in the 30 days downtime?
I would have been trying to find out what kind of this alleged magic item that the Grey Army was looking for. If it's important enough for an army to look for, just might trick a god.
I took the captain's advice and went to the library and I looked for the Dummy's Guide to Xata. And at the same time, I'm looking for maps about the world and certain things that the library has, the curator has there. And then also, once a week, I would have found a stool in Times Square and just preached the gospel in the Prime Pantheon.
Would
Find the World Anvil. That is your Dummy's Guide to Xata.
okay.
So the worldanvilpage.com/Xata, I think.
Dummy's Guide.
Dummy's Guide to Xata.
I feel like since we're in the same city, I would have at some point seen or taken notice of him as a false prophet, spreading rumors of fake god.
Yeah, we'll get there. In fact, this morning as you guys wake up,
Tension's already growing.
as you guys wake up, you all receive a knock on your door. It is just a town's kind of like a town crier, essentially, knocking on all the doors. You hear after a series of knocks, you don't hear a single voice until the final door is knocked on, and you hear a town crier go, "All in attendance. The Grand Council of Calypso will be hosting the Grand City-State, the meeting of the Grand City-States. Sorry, first day."
First day.
Oh,
You did
What-
great.
what time is it?
It is, as you look out your windows in your rooms, it is about 7 in the morning.
I've been up for 3 hours. About time,
Are we
Jesus.
still doing the 14th day of the 11th month, or is it changed?
It is the 14th day of the 11th month.
Okay, so that's what I'm picking up.
Correct.
I've got it. The calendar keeper has inscribed.
So, as you guys are aroused by this town crier coming in and announcing into it, and you hear him like subsequently going to like other wings of this inn and like knocking on doors and yelling the same thing, essentially. Except for this time he doesn't fuck it up on first day jitters. And he, as he moves through and wakes everybody else up, you hear people's doors opening and closing. You guys smell the sense of breakfast.
I walk out the door and look for this breakfast.
It's always so hard to get people to leave their rooms in the morning.
I don't want to go. It's warm in here.
It's safe and not scary. No one's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
I would
Philip,
say,
let's go.
My daily routine, I would have woken up, said a prayer of thanks to Sauter, and asked him to help me on my divine quest. Rolled up my little prayer mat, put it in my bag.
I would have done my morning prayers in my journal. I'm writing down everything in my quest. And then I would have given thanks to the Prime Pantheon, and then headed down to get some breakfast.
okay. So as you make your ways down to breakfast,
Making my way down.
it is, you've seen some of these people before. None of it has transpired much besides like excuse me's or pardons, or you just haven't had much things to talk about or communicate with this group of people. So you see some familiar faces. You see the Goliath, the very clearly fire giant Goliath, half giant, sitting there eating his breakfast. You see a Kit. What form do you take? A human form?
Yeah. What is it, like? That the most common thing in Calypso?
In Calypso, yeah. There's a lot of goblins too. There are a lot of ship workers that are goblins.
I probably would just, to keep the height the same, do just like kind of just like a mangy looking goblin.
Okay. Mangy looking goblin eating their breakfast of eggs and bacon. A older gentleman eating
Porridge.
Okay, eating porridge, drinking coffee, milk, water, ale.
Water. Gotta stay hydrated. So,
My own bones.
yes.
As Henry drinks his water for his old bones.
I also have a little plate of something for Philip.
Got it for Philip for the rat. Little plate of eggs and some bacon. That's easy to get off your plate. You don't eat much. You're a little bit of an older gentleman. You're a little peckish. So as you guys eat your breakfasts, the crier comes walking down the steps. As you guys are like, you physically see the person who like woke you up come like walking down the steps and is like walking through the inn to leave.
I'm gonna hold my hand up to the crier.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Where's this?
2 years, huh?
Huh?
2 years? You're gonna do this for 2 years?
Yeah, fucking we're committed.
All right.
This was gonna start sounding a little weird at work.
Damn regal.
Roll words.
All right.
I'm gonna try to stick with it as long as I can.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't break. Because you know what's gonna happen next week? I'm like, how did I sound? Fuck, I don't remember how I sound.
That's why we're recording.
Yeah, it's recorded now. You don't have an excuse.
So, excuse me, sir, where is this grand meeting happening at?
See, you're not invited.
Then why did you tell us about it?
Then why did you wake me up?
I get paid to shout the news of the day, and the news of the day is, well, we're hosting the Grand City State Council.
Doesn't that seem redundant to tell people that are not invited?
I get paid silver to shout loudly at people's doors in the morning. If you want to argue with the tax man, then argues with the tax man. And the guy goes to like turn on his heel and leave.
But who's the Prime Pantheon do you preach to?
He like stops, like looks at you, gives like a disgusted thing and walks.
A simple no would have sufficed.
As you guys finish your breakfast, and begin your day, word begins to spread in the inn. As the morning transpired, and the leaders of the city-states apparently meeting in Calypso, word has begun to spread that the leaders are looking for information on a couple of things. They're looking for information, anyone who has information on the celestial orb, an artifact that may be an orb, any return or direct interactions with the Empire, and any interactions with what is the proper word to use here? Outsiders, like from the south.
So when you reference the term outsiders, you mean people from the south?
In this instance, yeah.
I feel like that's exactly what he said.
Well, no, I didn't know if he's going to use it later on, like the outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Is what's going to be like people from the south.
Could you have me cook, please?
Because I didn't know if I was considered an outsider.
Please.
Yep. Did you see my messages?
Yeah, I saw.
Okay.
Do you have a mechanic that enforces that, or is that you're telling me to let me know and hoping that I have a mechanic?
I will text you.
What a dick thing to do.
I'm not cable.
Not my house. So,
That's the good trick.
as the rest of you sit around the table, you see a figure kind of walk into the bar, the inn, if you will. Sorry. So, those of you who have spent some significant time in or around Calypso, so I would say Henry, you would be the only person that would like have word from Calypso on a regular basis. And I would actually say Vinsire, you would recognize this person from the clippings that get delivered to your den. Or not your den, but your druid circle, your grove. This person is known to the two of you. This is, just want to make sure I get the first name that I give you for as important is right here. Grand First Mate Milo Erna. She is a female half-elf. She strides effortlessly into the bar. She's wearing this leather, like these soft brown leather pants. They're not form-fitting. They kind of loose fit. They're on top. Okay. She's wearing like soft but like supple leather brown boots, kind of like a darker, like 2 shades darker than her pants. She's got on a kind of like a red tunic, and over top of it, like a thick, like almost like a leather jerkin, essentially, over top of it. At her hip, she carries a long, what looks to be a scimitar and a sheath. As the Grand First Mate walks up, she kind of like strides up to the bar. You see the bartender, she kind of like already is like pouring an ale. She goes, "Finest from Cetera," slides it across. This imposing woman, this Grand First Mate, grabs the ale, throws it back. Everyone gets quiet. You've not seen her in person yet. Everyone in the entire inn, there's about 25 people here eating breakfast, drinking, talking about the news, are quiet. She slams this back. Boom, boom, boom. 1 gulp, 2 gulps, 3 gulps. The entire ale gone.
I love a woman that can drink.
She slams it down on the bar, and the bar fucking erupts. The 25 or 30 people in the bar go nuts. You, these outsiders that aren't familiar with what's happening, have no pretense of what's going on. She goes, I I heard there were some fucking pirates in this goddamn place looking to make some fucking gold. And the bar gets fucking loud again. You'll know, all of you'll know, just from reputation, that Calypso is home to a very, very populated sector of pirates. It's commonly known this is where the brigands, the highwaymen, the pirates of Xata reside. Calypso gives them safe harbor because they pay Calypso taxes, and Calypso has the prettiest, longest, and hardest docks on this side of the continent. Yes, the euphemism was there on purpose. So,
Turgid.
rigid, strong docks.
Hard.
So, yes, Calypso is a pirate republic, essentially. All the members of the Grand Council of Calypso were at one point in time, this is common knowledge, were at one point in time themselves pirates. In fact, several of them still keep fleets. They don't sail anymore, but their fleets still pay them a tax. So, with all that dropped on your heads, that is who stands before you. First mate Milo Erna. She goes, good, because I've got need of a job. Well, I've got a job, and I need of a crew. So, anyone brave enough to go down into the sewers and root out a bit of a fish problem? And some of the goblins go, down in the sewers? What's that? I heard there's all sorts of fuck down there. Another goblin goes, no, I think we'll keep to the seas, thank you. And you can tell, actually, everyone make an insight check. And we'll let the dice decide who can tell.
Let the dice decide.
Let's let the dice decide. 16, my good sir.
17.
17, 14.
16.
14. 14. All right. Everybody passes. DC was 14. On the insight check, you guys notice that disappointment flash across the first mate's face here. You get the sense that this is not the first place that she's been, and not the first place. You also notice that she is fairly drunk and seems to have done the beer trick a couple of times. She's slurring her words. She's fucking up things. When she came through the door, she stumbled a little bit. You get all that with the insight check. She looked a little disappointed. As the crowd kind of thins out, kind of rejecting and rebuffing her offer, all these pirates, these seafaring types, like going off to work on the docks that are right outside these doors, or going back to their ships, or what have you. You're kind of left, for the most part, it's like you 5 strangers, 5 other strangers, the bartender, and the apparently drunk first mate, Milo.
I would, Kazimak would stand up, because he is looking for points we can survive out here while trying to complete his quest. He's gonna stand up like, what does it pay?
It pays fairly well for what it should simply be a scouting mission for you, big fella. She kind of like looks up. She's not very large. She's about 5'6". She's this kind of like diminutive, like female half elf. But you can tell that the elven half was definitely a sea elf. There's like a blue tint to her otherwise human kind of like structure. But she kind of just goes, but you might be outnumbered if you go alone. See if any of this other rabble wants to help out, if you can grab a couple of those goblins by the ear. But yeah, 100 gold, clean it out, and you can consider it an audition for a much larger gig.
When I look around, do I see the rat bastard who's been spewing lies in the streets every day?
I'm drinking in the corner.
There is a Luxodon, your words, rat bastard, sitting in the corner.
How tall are you?
6'6", 6'7".
Yeah. He's pretty big. Luxon is the biggest out of the group. He is sitting in the corner drinking. What are you drinking? Ale? Deborian ale? Deborian ale? This bar has ale from like all over because it's a port town.
Oh, I'm drinking home.
Yeah, it's Deborian ale. You got a Deborian pale ale, the DPA, if you will.
I'm gonna write that down.
Deborian pale ale. Damn, if we ever make a beer.
Whoever make a pale ale.
DPA.
Oh, I can take some DP right now. What?
Is that what the trunk's for?
That was an okay joke, I guess.
Diamonds.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm turning it down this one because
Yeah, we just mentioned- we just
asked her what it pays, and then I guess looking around.
Yeah, you see him in the corner.
Like, I'll walk. I'm gonna walk over to him.
Yeah.
Hey. So I kind of like put my hand on the table like fairly loud.
Well, yes. What can I do for you, sir?
I don't know if you heard, but woman's offering 100 gold to do a fairly simple task, it seems, and you seem brave enough to be yelling that nonsense in the streets, so
What nonsense, sir?
everyone knows Xata is the only god.
Ah, you're a non-believer. It's okay. We can always change that. Why do you feel your God is real?
I'm just gonna like kind of like talk to myself. Clearly, this was a mistake, and I'm just gonna like turn around and immediately turn away.
Ah, the coward's way of can't explain your God.
I will say the moment you say that, I'm gonna turn around and just backhand you.
I'm gonna throw a shield of fame.
Okay, I'll still try to backhand you.
That didn't take long at all.
Nope.
Infighting.
Alright. Make an attack roll. Cast Shield of Faith as a spell.
Yes. Masculinity. Testosterone.
Almost a natural. It's only a 15.
Oh, 17.
Okay, so you'll hit him, but your hand will hit this kind of divine barrier as you come across with this backhand.
Attacks. The coward's way of justifying their God. You attack because you feel little.
Like, you're not worth my time. I'm just gonna literally just turn away.
Can't define your God. Come back if you want to know the truth.
Oh, no.
I turn to Philip and be like, Jesus Christ, Philip, look at this. It's fucking
Philip's. Huh?
I know.
Azmac's not trying to make a whole.
I can't make a rat noise.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Philip is not feeling the vibes either. So the rest of you guys, as you're watching this kind of unfold, you hear the first mate kind of throw this out there. As you look at your coin purses, most of you are pretty light. But some of you have other things driving you. So how you want to interact, how you want to play, up to you. But for the first time this campaign, the table is yours.
What's the big man doing? Walking around. I saw he just assaulted a random passerby.
I did. You would have seen me
Attempted to assault a random passerby.
Yeah, you would have seen me like swing hard as fuck in his direction, and then kind of just walk off.
Are you still in?
I'm still in the bar. I'm just walking back to the grand first mate. The boy's about to accept this fucking quest by himself. He's gonna fuck. Need gold.
I'm gonna wait a little bit to see how it unfolds.
Is there any other goblins in the area?
Yeah, there's like 3 goblins left in like what appear to be like 2 humans or half elves, kind of from a distance. They appear to be a part of the crew, and they're like sitting around a table, kind of just like talking. You see some of them are like still eating like what appears to be like sausage or like bacon or something, but like finishing the last of their breakfast, drinking some ale, getting ready to go to work in the docks.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just basically walk over to like a random group of them.
Okay. Yeah, there's the only other 5 people in the other than these random strangers that are like sporadically. There's this large group, and then you have the gentleman, the Luxodon gentleman that
Do I see the old man?
the Luxodon that you just tried to hit. You see a goblin sitting in the corner eating its breakfast by itself. You see a tiefling. Wait, have you even come downstairs yet?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah. And you see a tiefling doing what? Eating breakfast?
Asking for roughage. I would be at the barkeep. Do you have any roughage, any greens of sorts?
Oh my god.
I mean, we
You have
got
like a house salad.
we've got eggs, darling. It's 7 in the morning.
Yeah, and cabbage is a wonderful morning addition to your meals. If you haven't, I mean, I'll take my eggs. I just was curious if you had roughage. If not, I'll have to go find my own. It's no big deal. Just thought you'd make my morning easier.
I might have like a head of old lettuce.
Wonderful.
Okay, yeah. So you see her like disappear in the back for a second. She comes back and there's like a slightly brown, like not like all brown, but like the edges of the leaves are like brown, that kind of lettuce.
Uh-huh.
And she literally like puts it on the bar, hits it with a knife like 3-4 times, throws it on the plate and goes, roughage.
Perfect. And I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna put it in my pocket. Thank you very much. I'll take my egg.
Like, okay.
Thank you very kindly. That was fantastic. You said there was a mission in the sewers. I'll go.
Just shredding over to the first mate. So yeah, as you kind of just like peel over to the first mate who's sitting at the bar, like drinking, kind of like hand on her head a little bit. Milo kind of looks at you and goes, "And you want to go to the sewers?"
No, I don't want to, but this is something that you need, and you said it would pay money.
100 gold total to the person or people who put a stop to the Bullywug Grung situation.
And the situation is just that they are existing inside of the sewer currently, and that you don't want them to do that anymore.
They're not supposed to be there.
So they don't need to die. They're
not supposed to be seen.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Good. Then 100 gold to you and I assume your friend.
My friend
points to the
only other
person that's like come up to her, the Goliath. So she like points to the Goliath who you just saw try to like assault the Luxodon gentleman.
I just turn.
He seems like a great lad. I look forward to it. And then and I'll just go sit down and eat my eggs and wait patiently.
So I'm gonna walk back up to the bar and get another. Like, Wendy, I'd like another DP ale, please.
Wendy pours you another froth and mug of DP. And
thank you, my dear.
puts it right in your hand. Yeah.
Nice.
Extra wide mouth.
You ruined it, Andrew. I'm going to exploit it now.
The Deborian Pale Ale at a store near you. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Milo.
I'm like, excuse me, miss. What did you say what creatures were hiding in the sewers?
Bullywugs. They're bullywugs.
Is that a real creature or not? I heard 2 drunken deckhands saying they saw them come out of a vent, but then one said they was wrong. What is the...
And I assure you that bullywugs are quite real.
Is the big guy going with you?
Oh, I'm not going down there. She points to the badge. Why would I go? The badge. You've seen the badge, this like icon essentially, all over the city. It's a sailboat sailing on a field of black. The sailboat itself is crimson. It is the official like flag of Calypso. Their colors are stark difference to that of the Empire, which is like gray and this kind of like pale blue. Calypso was always like meant to be like the bulwark against the return of this.
You said it was a sailboat on a black sea, and what else?
A crimson sailboat on a black sea.
Okay.
So literally just a crimson sailboat on a black flag is Calypso's flag.
Oh, you won't be joining us down in the sewers?
No, darling, I will not.
Well, how are we supposed to find our way around the sewers if you don't join us?
She slams back in like another half cup of ale, the mug of ale. Well, I'll tell you. You're going to go down to the docks. You're going to ask questions. The lower docks. Not this hoity-toity shit. You're going to go to the lower docks, ask some questions, wait around. They've only ever been seen at night. Figure out what the fuck they're doing in my city and get rid of them.
Do you have an understanding of how many there are? Or an estimation?
Is there someone else I could talk to in your group?
What?
You and your friends, the gentleman you had the spat with.
The one that tried to hit me, I have no clue who he is? And he believes in false gods?
Ah, you're one of those. Deboria, right?
Yes. Yes, I am.
A bit of advice. The last time we had pilgrims from your land come here, they weren't treated so kindly. Learn to keep your tongue behind your teeth. Or someone is liable to pull it out.
That would happen to my friends?
Your friends? Who are your friends?
The group that came up here earlier.
Oh.
Because, you know, only true friends speak of the true gods.
Well, I've never met a Luxodon in person before. I've heard that there was a group of them some years ago. But, no. The last loons that I saw were human loons.
Ah, the human loons. Okay. Just curious because speaking the truth is the truth.
Right. So, those drains and sewer systems aren't going to clean themselves out. Just kind of like...
At this point, I would have made my way back over. I guess not really back over, it's a tiny bar.
I want to give anyone else first. Anybody else have anything they want to jump in with?
I'm still kind of just watching everything play out.
Yeah.
Same. I'm feeding Philip. I'm just like. Is the thing the town crier said? That's what I'm supposed to attend, right? Like from.
You were supposed to like report to the Calypso Ground Council. You did that.
Okay.
So you reported to this woman and her like shipmates essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Calypso Council, you met Grand Admiral Thrat Dento. He's like the Grand Admiral of Calypso. He's the big wig. You did not meet the first mate. She was at sea. You met the Grand Arbiter, Ignacio Kane. And you met Stephen Nash, a male half-orc.
Does he play basketball?
He plays something.
Specifically for the Sons of the Phoenix?
And during that, would I have been asked about what these guys are looking for or any?
They did, and you would have been able to share as much of that as you would want.
Nothing. I would like to make an Arcana check though.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
That is a 23.
Damn.
Okay.
22. Sorry.
Texting you something.
Gosh darn, +4 modifier.
6.
God damn.
Sorry.
Level.
My man can
3.
do one thing and one thing only.
You have no HP.
0.
How do you want me to text this to you, or do you want me to say this to you? Like what it is you're doing? How much of this do you want exposed? None of it?
Yeah, none of it. Text it to me for now.
Yep.
Tell me, Andrew. Tell me. I need to know now.
Share this with no one. Sorry, what's up?
Sorry, where's it? Cast the spell.
And then as I'm leaving that meeting, I'll turn to Philip on my shoulder and be like, "Oh, Philip, it's happening again."
What does it mean?
No, no.
What do they
And then
mean?
just keep walking.
He just goes.
You know, you could be a real bitch, Philip. All right.
I want
should have ran off the Suicide Squad too.
I have not seen Suicide Squad 2.
Oh, there's a rat. It's like sticks his hand out. I'm not shaking your hand. You're a rat.
I want to have gone over to the Grandmaster.
I text you, Christian.
And just been like, when do you need this done by?
Well, I prefer if you go tonight, but if you can't manage it, she starts to appear even drunker. Tomorrow would be fine, but it's only 7 in the morning. Oh, hell, it's only 7 in the morning. I'm drunker than snail shit. Is that a thing people say?
Kind of
Yes.
kind of just ignore and be like, so payment becomes you, or
Yes, yes. You know the big tower in the middle of the city? Well, that's the Admiral's Tower. You come there, it's really just a lighthouse. Let them know that you're there to turn in a bounty. Come to the top, find me, one of the other council members, let them know what you figured out. And payment, and maybe work.
just gonna like look at the other two random people. Where's what is it, Vinsire?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all sitting down. They're still sitting down. You can be at the homes at the far.
I'm just gonna kind of like, what's your name again? Your character's name?
He hasn't given you his name.
Well, then I'll look you up and down. It's like, and I'm gonna walk over to the table with Vinsire. Not like sit down, but I'm just like, so you're not one of
What's
those.
that?
Well, it looks like we're clearing out tunnels or something. So, my name's Kazamak.
Well, I'm Vin Sider. You can call me Vin, Vinny, VV. Your preference, really.
Okay. Well, what's
I mean, I'm just waiting for everybody. I just don't want to go alone. I'm waiting for whoever else is deciding they got the huevos to partake in this mission.
Well, it appears it's just us three, me and that trunk fellow over there.
All right, well, you can follow me whenever you're ready. And I'll slam my hands on the table and stand up. And I'll go walk out the door and wait outside.
What, and you're a tiefling?
Yes.
Have I ever seen a tiefling before?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I was like,
Andrew, show you text.
and I guess I will also walk out. Only reason, not to you guys, but in character, I don't know if I'd go to an old man and I don't know how to bring food with it, so I'm just gonna go outside with the other two.
Before I leave the bar, I'm gonna be like, friends,
I have completely left.
who wants to go out here to earn some coin to rid this woman of her problems?
Oh, the sewers. We're going to the sewers.
Yes, sir. Do you feel like you're a little old to be heading into the sewers? Your
Yeah.
right friend, on the other hand, there.
Oh,
Maybe
Philip is quite spry, but look, age is just a number. All right,
a number in the wrong direction.
that doesn't make sense. Now, young man, I'm coming with you. I fear for you all. I don't think you'll be safe down there, and
I
it's my
fear for
duty
you.
as an older gentleman to watch out for the younger people. So I will join you. And just make sure everybody's safe and we get back alive.
Good sir. I'm afraid you won't make it back for your age.
I'm quite spry, I assure you. Watch. See? I stood up. No problem.
Doesn't even come off, guys.
Make an athletics check.
Oh god.
Oh man.
-12. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, negative.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh shit! Right down the middle, baby. 10.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you're able to get up with no issue whatsoever, brother. You pop up nice and good.
See? I'm gonna start shuffling. Now come on. Fucking don't have all day.
I'm gonna see. You said you're human form, right, Kit?
I am in goblin form.
You're in goblin form.
Yeah.
Are you with the table of goblins or no?
Nope, sitting by himself, herself, itself.
Themselves.
My pronouns are what? Her, she, her.
Sitting by herself.
So you're a female goblin right now.
Is there are female and male goblins very distinct from each other?
The hair would be probably.
Then yeah, I mean yeah, female goblin.
Excuse me, miss? I don't know if you've heard me say anything, but we are looking for people to go down to the sewers to help Milo, first mate.
I mean, just about the whole bar heard you.
Well, you're not reacting, so I had to come over here and make sure you heard me.
Oh, that's a weird way to respond to that. And then she'll just
Well,
turn
you might
back.
respond by not saying anything.
She'll just turn back to her food and go back to what she was doing.
I see you're not into the coin.
Minsire would poke his head back through the door of the bar. Hey, elephant friend, leave the goblin alone. They are too small and frail to join us on this adventure. We already have Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, God. God.
Small goblin friend, feel free to join us. Here's my card. I throw nothing at you.
All right. Then I'm just gonna proceed to walk away from the table.
Yeah. So as you guys go and exit the bar, you are kind of grouped outside. Your horse, she is tied up right outside at the water trough, like getting a drink. World is your oyster. You were told that you'd have to go down to the lower docks, so it's just a jaunt. It's like a walk. It's a wall within walking distance.
Good word, Sean.
Yeah, it's a good little jaunt. A little bit of a jaunty poo. So you're taking a little bit of a jaunty poo down to the lower docks. As you go, you can stop and see the sights, explore Calypso if you'd like. Things that you're going to pass are some of the shops. You're going to pass kind of like the walkway up towards like the lighthouse that is the grant, like the council chambers essentially. So it's just this big grand stone lighthouse that's built in the middle of Calypso, and the city and town just sprouting up around it. So that is what you're going to be doing, but the world's your oyster. Table is yours. What would the party like to do?
Hmm.
Yeah, go ahead, Kit.
I'm gonna give him a solid like 30, 45 seconds, and then I'm just gonna be tailing the group. I don't think it'll be very hard to keep track of them.
Okay.
Very
Easy
boisterous bunch.
Okay. So as you kind of go ahead and make a, yeah, I'll just do it now. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay. I would also like to point out at this point, I would have, like, stepping out the door would have changed shapes. Now I'm just like normal human. Uh, 13.
13. Okay. So as you guys make your way, some of you stealthily, some of you obliviously, as a disparate group. Hodgepodge is not a severe enough term to describe what you are. But as you walk down, you pass a couple of things. First, at the high docks, you pass the shipwright's workshop. It is like the premier place to buy ships, both sailing and airships, in the world. Like, it's the best shipwrights in the world are known to be in Calypso. It is the envy of Steelhaven that they do not have shipwrights nearly as good as the humans and elves of Calypso. So you pass the shipwrights workshop, you see some of the multi-$1,000 worth of ships, beautiful ships. Any of you have dreams of being a sea captain or anything? No? As you go, you also pass Buccaneers Books. It's a exactly what it sounds like, a bookstore. Surprise, surprise. You pass the Kraken's Ink, which has a line out the door. As you walk past, you see a young human walking out of it with a fresh tattoo. You also pass the Nexus. The Nexus is, from the outside, appears to be this kind of like rickety, multi-tiered wooden. What it looks like is a wooden house was here. Someone built a wooden addition many years later. Someone built a wooden addition that was an addition to both of those. Built a fourth addition to the right of those additions. Yeah, it's just addition after addition after addition, but not just vertically, like horizontally, like back in space as well. So it's this like kind of like multicolored, but it's never been painted, but just the wood is aged differently and rapidly. It's all different kinds and colors of wood. But it appears to be a magic shop. And in front of it, hanging from the doorway, is a sign that says the Nexus. That is what you pass on your way to the lower docks. If any of that piques your group or individual interest, feel free to let me know.
I would want to go into the magic shop.
Okay.
Oh, value.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, young man. I know I'm a sneaky guy.
I could hear your bones breaking about a mile away. And you're like, kind of like.
I just gotta get moving. Now listen up.
As you guys push through the threshold of the Nexus, you are greeted by a couple of things, but first thing that hits you would be the smell. It smells absolutely lovely in here. Like roses in bloom everywhere you smell. In fact, as you look into the immaculately decorated magic shop, there are roses in bloom, dying and returning to bloom, dying and returning to bloom, all different colors, all different garden varieties. Beautiful. And it smells absolutely sweet and lovely in here. The third thing that strikes your eye is the beautiful woman gliding in front of you. As she dips gracefully into a curtsy and introduces herself as, "Hello there, I'm Zara." They call me Zara the Enchantress. And this is where one of you says, enchanted, I'm sure. And she holds out her hand for someone to take it.
Oh,
I'll immediately. No, I bat it out of the way.
I'll fight this old man.
Both of you make sleight of
Find
hand.
your place.
Sleight of hand checks from both of you.
If he hits me, I will hellish rebuke him.
This is not going to be good. Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
9.
11.
All right. Neither are great, but one's better than the other. So with an 11,
No respect.
Vinsire, you gracefully grab, I'd say ungracefully, but you grab her hand as gracefully as possible and shake it. As you look up into her face.
Oh no, I don't shake it. I put my lips.
Oh, you kiss her hand? Okay.
Beforehand.
She's like, oh, how lovely. She is a female wood elf. She stands at about 6'1". Her skin is the color of the moon. She glides more so than she walks. She wears this kind of elegant, I'd say like pale blue, like gown, almost like she's going to a ball. She is indeed enchanted. She is beautiful. Her hair is this long black, and it's just dark black all the way down to the small of her back. Not in a braid, just loose and wild down to the back of her, small of her back.
I just want to kind of look around at like what kind of magical items there is around these parts.
She sweeps out of the curtsy, rips her hand out of Bond's grasp.
It's not
Bond,
clenched.
Insire's grasp.
Gentle.
Damn, I
Gentle.
did it.
That's gonna be a
Gentle
while.
hold. I'm not. It's not a depth grip.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she just gently takes her hand out of your grasp, Insire, spins elegantly into the shop and says, well, then let me show you what I have in store. I have a number of lovely items, and she snaps her fingers. A number of items spring to life. The items are almost as if they're like being like carried. They look like they like wobble over. There are a number of things here. She kind of sizes you up and goes, though I'm afraid most is likely out of reach at the time, it would seem. Yeah, you poor as shit, bro. But she shows you a couple of things. The first she shows you is a wand. She gently plucks it from the air and says, this wand is named a Radiance. It shines brightly even in the darkest light, revealing all to be seen. And she like holds it up and the wand kind of just like vibrates a bright white, and it gives off this shining bright glow. She comes to a very cool item that I can't wait I'm just going to show you. So she comes to another item that's floating. It's this round object that has like a bunch of what can be described as like knuckles on it in like 3 rows. So it's got like these 3 rows of bumps on it. At the top of it is this little like capsule that looks like you're supposed to kind of like push down into this device. She goes, this is a Nomengrad grenade. Made in the Nomengrad factories of Cetera. They're explosive. Like dynamite used to clear deep tunnels in dwarven settlements.
Is it magical?
You have to.
I want to. Do you mind if I look at it?
Of course. Hands it to you. It's yeah, I mean it's a grenade.
I just want to see if it's something I can.
Yeah, it's a grenade.
It's a D&D grenade. Made by
Holy hand grenade.
Clearing out nose.
The Nomengard grenade.
I'm gonna like toss it back to her.
She kind of wordly and deftly catches it. I wouldn't toss it. They are quite explosive, you know.
I'll just chuckle a little bit.
She brings out another item. It's at first it's just a floating broom, And she kind of like grabs it. She goes, "This." She swings her legs over it. It's a broom of flying. Sits side saddle and lifts off on the broom of flying. Yours for the low, low price of 35,000 gold.
Low price, eh?
And she swoops back down and elegantly lands and goes, "So," and there's tons of items here. You see about 3 dozen items have like been carried over for your viewing pleasure here. I'd rather not spend the first episode reading through every item, but there's a sampling.
I know I can't afford anything, so I just looked at a couple of them, added them to my memory bank.
Excuse me, Zara.
Fuck, I already forgot the voice.
Zara.
Yes, doctor.
How much is the one?
The one that would be 600 gold pieces.
Well, I am not equipped to handle that, but I do thank you.
Well, if you've saved up enough gold, come back. I'm sure it might be here. Might being the key word. But you never know.
I will keep that in mind.
All right. She kind of like looks away dreamily.
I also forgot it.
Voices.
I know, new voices. I don't believe anyone here has enough coin to spend on any of these items, so best leave. And I'm just gonna kind of like turn and start to walk out.
My lady Zara, I cannot afford anything here, but I will like to offer you something, and that is my sincerest compliments. This work here is fantastic. These roses, these flowers, did you do this?
Oh, how kind of you to notice. I did. I did do that, yes.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It's simple, really.
It's just...
I could show you.
You know what? Now I'm even slipping out of mine. I don't think we'd have time for that right now, but I would love to come back and... yes, absolutely.
It's a simple incantation I can teach you.
Oh, surely, yes, please.
She will spend about 10 minutes kind of going over the simple spell work. Just a simple little cantrip. It's called Zara's Magic Rose.
Okay.
It's you can enchant a rose to magically rebirth and die over a period of an hour.
That spell will kill a big bad.
And it works in like a radius. So like essentially it's meant to turn, like she made the spell work to turn a field of roses into like roses that live and die.
That's
a perpetual cycle of death.
For an hour. Correct.
Absolutely astounding. Fine magical craftsmanship. It's very good. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, and you can. It's not a spell that you need to add, but if you ever want to make a rose live and die, you now know the cantrip.
Gotcha.
Might come into play. You never know.
Before
D&D.
It's true. Could be something good to.
Ooh, I got a spell for this.
Before we leave, like as I'm walking, I'm turning around. I do have one question actually. Your work with magical items. You haven't by chance heard of anything called? I've heard talks around the city of a celestial orb or some sort of artifact that's shaped like an orb.
She pauses for a moment. She goes, "I've heard tell of this celestial orb, but it's the first that I've ever heard of it. And as far as I know, it's just bubblygook."
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
To see if she's lying.
Sure.
Or not, maybe not lying, but like
she knows when she's not telling you.
Maybe not knows about it, but let's see if we can get something worth the shit. Nope. 12.
Seems to be telling the truth.
Okay. Well, thanks anyways. And I'm just gonna try and turn and walk out.
Henry, on your way out, you notice there are spell scrolls here for sale.
Ooh. Just to make it quick, is there like a price, like an average price I see here?
The lowest one that you see here is 200 gold.
Roger that.
What type of?
I
Sorry.
Hmm.
I was gonna ask what type of creature you are. I didn't realize you were still talking.
me?
Yeah.
Just an old guy, human man. Very old human man.
For now.
I feel like there's a dark horse to that. But
I was just wondering that you're old.
Yeah, just really old.
You kind of waiting outside the shop.
All right.
I'm
Quick
there
list
with
of
him.
spells, maybe, just so I can write it down.
Yeah, you thumbing through them, you see there's a couple of things here, but you see a spell scroll of Arcanist Magic Aura, a spell scroll. I'll wait until you're ready.
Go ahead.
Spell scroll of Nathair's Mischief.
Okay.
A spell scroll of Simulacrum.
Ooh.
That one's more expensive though.
Mm-hmm.
You also, as you're thumbing through the scrolls, you come across next to them is an old dusty spell book for sale. Inside the spell book, it just says that there's a little sign that says Spell Book of Illusions. Inside the spell book are the spells. You'd have to buy the entire spell book, but it's Weird, Silent Image, Shadow Blade, Programmed Illusion, Phantasmal Killer, and Nystol's Magic Aura.
Above table question. I couldn't remember for Alexander. Do artificers have to write down spells and find them to add them like wizards?
No,
Or you just
artificers learn spells as they
Okay,
go.
I just want to double check.
What's the price on that book?
3,500 gold.
Jesus. Okay.
You will not find him here.
All right. I will take one final pause at the threshold. Inhale one more time. And
I'm
then exit the
standing
shop.
outside the threshold, and just because you're old, Kazumaka is gonna like stick his foot out as you take a step through the door, just to try to trip you. I just want to see how spry you really are if we get into some sort of actual fight.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Eat it on purpose. Be a man.
Infighting has begun.
This is
16.
how our campaigns normally go. I don't want anyone to think that this is normal. This is not normal. This is the first time this has ever happened. 16, you say.
Yeah. All right, so I was like, you go to stick your foot out, and I'm like, whoa, watch
Whoa.
yourself. You're a big fella, you know. I'm old, you know.
Didn't even see you come into the door.
You almost
All right.
prestidigitation myself off real quick, just like, whew. Good man. Prestidigitation you off, filthy. Jeez. All right.
Filthy.
God.
Swing aside, man.
So, as you guys come out of the magic store, round a corner, you start to come upon the lower docks of Calypso. It is broad daylight here. It's morning time. You were told that nighttime is likely when these things have been seen, but you're also told to ask questions and stuff. So there are normal everyday dock workers here. A lot of the dock workers here are like goblins. A lot of the ship crew are goblins. It's like 90% of where the goblins end up is at sea or working around the sea. You've got orcs here. You've got like a lot of what unfortunately are like considered like the lower races in a lot of D&D settings, like the old school D&D settings, are the ones that are like a lot of like the trade workers in Calypso, at least. Calypso is not a kind place unless you're like a human or elf.
Makes sense.
So, yes, Kitsune.
On that note, I'm gonna duck behind somewhere that I can kind of like be semi-hidden and shift back to goblin form. Slightly different looking goblin.
Okay,
And
easy
then
enough too.
keep like a generous tail on the group.
Okay. That is easy enough to do. As you guys come to the lower docks, it's a stark difference. There are still some shops here, but they're not like the high-end shops. It's like Bob's General Goods, stuff like that, right? So it's like nameless. Yeah, it's like it's the nameless like ABC
Bartholomew's
knockoffs.
barnacle removal.
Yeah, it's essentially, yeah. So like a lot of it's like it's all like a lot of it's shipwrights, a lot of it's warehouses, people who run warehouses, people who work in warehouses. As you're passing, you notice a couple of things. There are a number of places on the lower docks where these large sewer pipes come out and dump into the ocean, or like essentially like dump out onto the street into like these grates that then run into the ocean. So like it's unsanitary as fuck. As you can see as you pass a couple of them, everybody go ahead and make perception checks.
21.
16.
19.
Love it. Anyone who rolled a 12 or higher, you notice that one of the grates about 100 feet into like the lower dock area, and this is about a 500 foot, or excuse me, like a 5,000 foot long area, this lower dock area. Like it's a pretty robust area. But about 150, 200 feet in, you notice that one of these sewer grates has been like recently patched here, like cut and patched. Like metal, like new metal has been like fixed here and welded in essentially.
Is there any dog hands or like people that are just like relatively close?
Yeah, I mean, there's people like all over the place.
I kind of want to like go up to one and like, hey.
It's a half orc. He kind of looks like he's like maybe 6 foot tall. He's like your height. Yeah.
I heard talk down here the other night that there was rung or something coming out of the gates. You do something about that? Or...
Oh, you mean the bullywug, frog people?
Yeah, whatever those are.
Yeah.
Trying to kill them.
Yeah, trying to kill them.
Get rid of them, something.
Oh, well, they didn't hurt nobody.
Oh, maybe not kill, but get them out of the sewers.
Yeah, make a deception check.
Oh, I'm trying to kill them. Not as good as I once was.
11. 17 on the die. Yeah, well, killing them is not the way probably to deal with them. They didn't seem like they wanted to fight. They seemed more scared than anything.
Scared of what?
Son, I work on a dock, and I get paid to lift heavy boxes from one spot to the next. I don't see a lot around here.
I will just, all right, and I'm just gonna kind of like walk on to the next person I see.
Okay.
Person to person.
Anybody else at the table want to do anything?
I'm gonna try to take a look at the grate and try to open it.
Okay. As you inspect the grate, there's no this isn't meant to be opened. Like people aren't meant to come and go through here. So there's no way to open it. You physically have to cut this open or bend it open to fit through here. Okay. You are especially large, so this would have to be cut all the way open for you to fit through here.
Okay. Can I go ahead and see if I can track and locate if there's an outlet towards the the dock, or is it just the grate? It's like this.
Yeah. So it's literally wall of the city, right? Sewer pipe comes out. It's this 5 foot wide, 6 foot tall sewer pipe.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, you're big as fuck, bro. It's this big ass it's like man-sized sewer pipe where shit and water and piss and everything else are pouring out of it at an angle. It's this old big ass fucking like stone pipe essentially. It's got these metal bars that have basically been like fixed through it.
To keep
It's like crossbars. Yeah. So once they're in, like you literally have to like break them to get through. You can see where they've been patched recently.
And that just from looking around, I'm probably gonna check. That's the only entranceway into the sewers.
That's the first thing that you came across was this one that had recently been repaired.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep looking to see if there's another entrance or if there's a way in.
Okay.
Go through the rate.
Okay. What does everybody else want to do?
I'm gonna turn to Vinsire because everyone else kind of just walked off and started talking to random people, figuring out. I'm like, well, it seems like they've got it under control. It's probably just hang back. Gotta say that is quite the beard you have there. That's very impressive. You know, I tried, but this is about as long as it gets before it starts.
Well, everyone where I'm from has a nice beard, even some women.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That I've seen that. I have seen that.
I will say, at your age, it's kind of surprising. I feel like a nice big beard would really fit in. I might have something, give me some time. I might be able to help. I might be able to help you with this.
Oh, it's not a problem anymore. I've grown accustomed to it. It's fine. What brings you here? Why are you here? What are you doing here?
We're looking for frog people in the sewer, Henry.
No. Why are you in the city?
We're looking for frog people in the sewer, Henry.
I swear to God.
For 100
Every
gold,
generation gets dumber.
For 100 gold, we'll pose 25 apiece at this current juncture.
Whoa. I was not prepared for that. I thought I was going to get 100 gold.
Oh, and it's the younger generation that's getting foolish and more foolish and foolish.
Look. I was worried about you guys. I didn't talk to the lady, and now yes, you're right. I'm stupid.
I tell you what, Henry.
What?
I'll share a secret with you.
What?
I'll reach into my pocket. You can't tell anyone.
I don't like where this is going.
This is Sheldon, and I pull out a turtle.
Oh. Well, that's quite delightful. Hello there, Sheldon.
Yes. So if you ever need a pick-me-up, and Philip isn't around.
Oh, Philip's always around. Fucker.
Can I talk to Philip?
Yeah?
I would like to cast Speak with Animals and talk to Philip.
Philip is a found familiar, so I don't know if that affects it.
Does it? I don't know.
Oh. Fey creature, technically, right?
Yeah, it's a fey creature, not a. So it speaks Sylvan and it's telepathy with its
owner.
Its owner, yeah.
Huh. Philip is broken. He doesn't.
Oh, Philip is a girl.
I didn't say anything about Philip's gender.
You said he's broken.
I said Philip is broken.
Oh, my old ears, sorry.
But thank you for sharing that with me. I would have been so embarrassed.
Yeah, well, people quite honestly do. It's quite unfortunate that her name's Philip. See, I even get it.
Well, fair enough. But anyway, why are you in the city, Henry?
Some very unfortunate things happened in my town, and for some reason, you seem like a bright fellow. Does it make sense to send the oldest man in the village? Miles away?
I suppose it depends. Are you the strongest?
There's something wrong with your eyes. No, I'm not.
Looks can be deceiving. That's all I've learned in my time.
True, that's true. But I'm not strong. not to toot my own horn, but I can be smart and a little.
I am not strong. I think you're strong, Henry.
You don't know me.
I've known you for about an hour now. And I tell you what, I'm never going to a magic shop with you again. That shit was fucking awful.
What? It
We
was
were there for like
beautiful.
40 minutes.
It was beautiful.
We
Are
all
you
have
kidding me?
like $3. I don't even know why we stayed that long.
Just look at everything. Look at it's just amazing what magic can do.
Henry, there are frog people in the sewer.
You're right. I wonder if they found anything out yet. Where'd they go?
Yeah, can we still see them or have they wandered now?
I'm not that far. You would see Kazabak literally just like talking to random people, attempting to retry his wording of how to dispose of the creature.
Just shouting across the dock, Kaz! You find anything?
So
No.
perception check from Brom.
Rob.
17.
17. Yeah, it takes a while because it's not like these aren't every like 10 feet or anything. These are like every couple hundred feet. These are like main junctions. So the way the sewer system works here, it's all stone, right? None of this is metal. It's all gravity based. It's aqueduct style, like water. Yeah, so it's Roman Empire style, like water system. So they have like stone sewer systems. So you have all these little tiny pipes from people's houses to go to slightly bigger pipes in their neighborhood, to go to slightly bigger pipes in their quadrant, that go to slightly big ass pipes that spit out into the ocean, essentially. It's not great, but it's a sewer system.
Fuck the environment.
Modern day Asia.
So, all right. Well, there goes that part of you. The Asians. We just lost the Asian demographic.
I'm still here.
Oh man, it took like I knew like as soon as we got to like the Asian part, I was like, I wonder how many Asian references it'll take before like Mikey's like
Amazing 3.5
I
hours.
was doing good.
yeah, you did good. I'm proud of you. So it
But
just
now
takes
that
some time.
It's been ripped off.
No, now it takes some time, but you do find a grate that's open. It looks like this grate has been like essentially like jostled free of the stone. And like you can like slide the metal poles essentially out of the stone like divots. It's subtle, but with that roll you do find it. It's about halfway down the like lower docks. So as you kind of like survey the area, there's no like signs of like struggle. It's not like outward signs of like violence or anything. It's just a grate that, as you inspect it, it's been worked loose.
Okay. And then how far? You said it's halfway down the dock, so you said the dock is 5,000 feet. So I have to walk back to the group.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that the group is like walking. And,
Yeah, I think we're all kind of like.
yeah. So you're like all together. Like I figure like they're all like walking, talking, doing this together.
I'm gonna just come on. Oh, bingo.
Just destroying the city in broad daylight.
What are you doing there? No.
Under arrest.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
fellow compatriots, I have found a way in.
I am sure there's a door somewhere or like a grate that we could have opened.
You opened this one.
To the people that was one of the things I wanted to ask. If there's like a main hub that you can just walk in, maybe just like maintenance or cleaning it or getting down there.
Oh, not that I know of. No. As far as I know, the shit pipe's the shit pipe. I don't know why you'd want to go in one, but it's a shit pipe.
Well, thanks. I guess I'm gonna
Right.
go up the.
People here seem terrible.
Did you hear that, fellow? He wanted to climb into the fucking shit pipe.
Throwing axe. I'm just gonna start walking towards the elephant man. You said you found something? Trunk?
Right here, non-believer.
Well, I'm just gonna I guess I'll look behind to see if the rest of the group is making their way this direction.
Yeah, me and Henry got to be right on you.
Well, the lady said it come out more at night, but I mean, what if we meet him in there? Kind of gross, but
We might find him sleeping.
yeah.
I don't know what these things are, how they work, but
I've never seen him run before, probably, huh?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Truth be told, I really don't even know what a grung or a grovel or whatever they're calling these things.
bullywug?
Pollywog? Yeah.
Where do you keep getting grung from? I don't even know.
Is that a thing? That's what they're called, right?
Yeah, it was what it was before it was bullywug.
Yeah, we heard people talking about it. Oh, I go down by the docks. Grungs.
Huh? Well, you learn something every day. Are we going in here? Can you fit in there, Loxodon friend?
Well, you should go first, and we will figure it out.
I'm saying I could make you smaller and you can walk right through there.
That will not be needed. I will not need to be smaller.
I can make you bigger.
You should just go first.
Henry.
What?
You're spry and young?
Yes, but it's filthy.
Oh, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna try and squeeze in. I'm just tired of everyone waiting, so I'm just going right in to the ship pipe.
Yeah, it's for the bigger characters, the guys that are over 6 foot. You have to crunch you're bent over at the waist, or crunching walk. It's not
comfortable.
Yeah, it's not a comfortable place to be. As you guys step in, it is. It's filled with shit. Steady stream of water,
Liquid diarrhea.
piss, and shit.
Constant prestidigitation.
Yeah, it's terrible. So yeah, man, it's not great in here. It's stone, so it's mildewy and shit and mold everywhere too. It's not a pleasant place to be. Anything living in here is probably not doing so
By choice.
happily. So with that in mind, as we step into the sewer, that is where we will end tonight's session.
Yay.
So
With a party of 4 entering the sewer.
Yeah,
I'm trailing behind at a very healthy distance. Don't
so
worry about me. Do your thing.
with that, I will stop the recording here soon. So future versions of us watching this, hi. I hope you figured out that hemorrhoid problem.
I hope you found happiness.
I hope you got your shit together. Come on.
I hope your brain still works.
All right.
Man, half of these comments are gonna be really depressing when we have these flashbacks later on.
I'm like, damn.